I'm Josh Mosiman, and welcome to This Week in MXA, episode number 112, presented to you guys by O'Neal Racing. Thank you for tuning in to this video. We are going to be highlighting the Tampa Supercross, previewing this weekend's Oakland Supercross, and sharing some footage from the Mammoth Qualifier out at Glen Helen this past weekend, where I got to race the new Yamaha 450, and some of the other MXA test riders got to race as well. Behind me is a brand new KX450 SR. It's the factory edition Kawasaki. We just shot photos of that in the studio, and now we're gonna ride it this week. But let's get into this week's video, presented by O'Neal Racing. We got to talk about the 450 class from the Tampa Supercross, and man, was it an exciting one. Cooper Webb, after 651 days since his last win at the Salt Lake City Supercross in 2021, finally gets a win again. Technically, Chase Sexton let him have it at the end of the race. 2 minutes to go when Chase Sexton crashed in the whoops. Heartbreaker for Chase Sexton, as he has had so many races where he's been out front leading and thrown it away in the very late stages of the race. But Chase Sexton, he's given it his all, and you can tell that hurt, but he's mentally tough, and he's really used to this now. He's still finished second in the race. He's still second in the championship, only 2 points behind Eli Tomac. But he could have had the red plate after last weekend if he would have held on to it and won that race. Still, really cool to see Cooper Webb bounce back after a tough 2022 season. If you remember his last win at the Salt Lake City Supercross, that was a head-to-head race against Chase Sexton, and Cooper Webb had the championship wrapped up already for the 450 series, but he wanted to put a stamp on it at the last round of the series because he didn't want Chase Sexton to get any extra confidence going into 2022. Well, fast forward now, Chase Sexton's got a few wins, and Cooper Webb, well, he's had a struggle in the 2022 season, but the win at Tampa Supercross is surely lighting another fire under Cooper Webb. He is motivated, he's riding well, and I like Cooper Webb's mental aspect. You guys might tell that I'm a little bit of a Cooper Webb fan just by watching our videos, but after the race, he didn't give a lot of credit to Chase Sexton and saying thanks to Chase Sexton for crashing to let me win this race. He said, no, I was ready to fight until the checkered flag. I was ready, I was feeling good, I feel like my fitness is good. So he left no excuses out there, and he was still playing mind games with the competition even after he won the main event. Even after the post-race press conference and in all of his interviews, he said, hey, I was there ready to fight, and pretty interesting stuff from Cooper Webb. So the big shock though was Eli Tomac. 5th place on the night. He lost a lot of points. He has a 2-point lead on Chase Sexton, a 4-point lead on Cooper Webb in the championship. Very close, which makes it exciting to be a fan. We will see this weekend at Oakland if he can rebound. Jason Anderson, he was penalized. Well, maybe not penalized, but he's put on probation by AMA. He got a written warning after taking out Justin Barcia again this weekend at the Tampa Supercross. And Jason took himself out this time, so it wasn't a great move for Jason Anderson. Basically, a written warning and a probation says that AMA is going to be watching him closely, making sure that he doesn't do anything too overly aggressive these next 6 months. If he does, they'll give him a fine, but I still expect Jason Anderson to be riding hard out there on the track. Also, Aaron Plessinger, congrats to him on getting his first podium of the season on the Red Bull KTM in 3rd place. Let's highlight the 250 class from the Tampa Supercross. Well, that was a Hunter Lawrence show in the 250 main event, but before that, it was all Hayden Deegan winning his heat race. Wow, Hayden Deegan came into this championship with a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations on him, but I don't think very many people expected him to finish 4th at the Houston Supercross in his first ever pro race in Supercross, and finish 1st in his heat race at Tampa, and then finish 4th again in the main event. Very impressive. Congrats to Hayden Deegan. It's going to be really exciting when he ends up on the podium and when he gets his first win. The crowd was already roaring for a heat race win, so only look forward to more with that kid. He is riding really well. Hunter Lawrence, though, he stole the show in the 250 class in the main event, coming through the pack, made a lot of passes to get up to the top spot to fight for the win in the very last turn. He connected with my brother, his rear wheel connected with my brother's front wheel. Unfortunately, Michael went down mid-race. He also made a good pass on Max Anstey and made a narrowly difficult pass on Nate Thrasher at the very end of the 250 main event. That sand section was so deep and so gnarly. I really want to ask you guys to leave us a comment down below on the YouTube channel. Did you like watching the riders suffer through that sand section, or do you prefer Supercrosses without sand? Because I can tell you, as a rider who's raced Supercross, through deep sand sections like that, it is brutal and not very fun with Supercross suspension, but it's also kind of exciting to see as a fan, so it kind of just give or take. If your favorite rider crashes like Jordan Smith did in the main event, that's a bummer to see in the sand section, but Hunter Lawrence came from the back. Nate Thrasher blocked him coming out of the sand section, and then coming into the last turn, I thought Nate Thrasher would hug the inside like you would do in any LCQ trying to qualify for the main, but he drifted out. Hunter Lawrence, beautiful slide move up to the inside, smashed into him, got by, and Hunter Lawrence grabbed the win by just a narrow fraction of a second. Congrats to Hunter, congrats to the Lawrence team. Also congrats to Nate Thrasher for a great second place. Bummer for him after leading for so long. Max Anstey, Firepower Honda, on the podium again. Wow, he backed up his great finish from Houston with another podium at Tampa. Good stuff. Let's preview the Oakland Supercross this weekend up in Northern California. Now, this is round 2 of the Monster Energy Supercross season, which is super confusing because it was postponed. Supercross has still been calling it round 2. They called last weekend round 6, even though we've only had 5 races. So as a media guy, it's been kind of confusing to keep track of everything going on and write articles about each weekend. But Oakland Supercross, it is the 6th race of the season, and the riders are headed up there. That means 250 West Coast Championship is back on this weekend. Jett Lawrence, he has a 17-point lead over RJ Hampshire, 16-point lead over Cameron McAdoo, who's in second place in the championship. So Jett has a comfortable lead. He's won all but one of the main events on the West Coast so far. Levi Kitchen is the only non-Lawrence brother to win a 250 main event so far. As we look ahead to the weekend, Oakland was originally postponed due to rain, heavy rain and flooding. I'm really glad that we don't have any weather or any rain on the forecast for this weekend. Things look pretty clear in Northern California, and also the track does look exciting, but it's not as exotic as the tracks have been since Anaheim 2. Anaheim 2, you had the track zigzagging across the start a million times, some fast straightaways. Houston Supercross, you had more zigzagging across the start, more fast straightaways, a turning sand roller section, which was challenging for Chase Sexton and many other riders. Tampa, you had that long straightaway of sand. It also was drizzling through the night, so made for a slick track. Now, this weekend, no sand, which I'm sure a lot of riders are glad about. You have 2 really long whoop sections that are separated by a dragon's back section. Also, a turning rhythm section will be interesting. It's been a while since we've seen something like that in Supercross. So, of course, these guys are gonna make it look easy, hitting all the jumps right away. But I think those 2 long whoop sections are gonna play a separating factor, and it's really gonna come down to who's the most comfortable in the whoops. And we'll see. Can Eli Tomac bounce back from his 5th place at Tampa, or is it going to be Chase Sexton or Cooper Webb taking the points lead this weekend? All eyes are on the 450 class. Should be fun. Next up, we head out to Glen Helen for the first round of the Road to Mammoth series. So it was a Mammoth Qualifier at Glen Helen. I got to race on the 2023 Yamaha YZ450F. We've been working hard on our 450 shootout. We will see a 450 shootout video coming out on our YouTube channel soon, so stay tuned for that. I took our bike, it had some brand new Pirelli tires on it, ODI bars and grips. The rest of the bike was stock, and we also put a Works Connection Pro Launch device on there for the start this weekend, but otherwise, bone stock Yamaha 450, stock suspension and everything. What better way to learn about a bike than to go race it? So 4 motos, I raced the Open Pro Sport class, the 450 Pro class. There was a lot of entries, a ton of riders out there qualifying for Mammoth. It was my first time doing a Mammoth qualifier since I raced Mammoth back in 2015, so it's been a while. But a lot of fun racing out there with some top amateur kids and some other pro riders. I ended up getting the win in both classes, so I was blown away and stoked on that. The Yamaha 450, a little bit soft suspension wise for me because the track did get rough. It's also a lot busier on the front end than it was in the past. The past, Yamaha's been known for being super stable, but this thing is extremely fast. It has never been so easy for me to get hole shots in my life. It's been a long, long time since I've gotten this many hole shots. First moto, my first ever real start on a Yamaha 450, at least this new one. I was 3rd to the first turn. I ended up passing for the lead in the second turn. I won the moto. Second moto, hole shot, I won the moto. Third moto of the day, which was obviously second moto of the first class, hole shot led every lap until the white flag, and then Honda SLR rider Parker Ross, he's a youngster, he's a good rider. He ended up getting me on the last lap, but I knew even if he got me, I still had the overall win, so that was nice. The fourth moto, the final moto of the day, I got another hole shot. I did my very best to hold off a hard-charging Parker Ross and Dalton Shirey Rockstar Husqvarna off-road rider who was actually racing with this big tank out there, which was super impressive. But long story short, I held him off, had some close battles, and then on the white flag, Parker Ross got around me again. So I went 1-2 in both classes to win the overall. Good stuff. I ended up, for me, it's always a celebration. If you win, you got to get Thai food afterwards. So I made a good little paycheck. But we also had Josh Fout out there, Dennis Stapleton out there, and Brian Medeiros. So MXA Wrecking Crew, the orange helmets, we were out in full force. I was riding the stock Yamaha. Dennis was riding our Honda 450 that we just used for our 450 shootout. Josh Fout, he was on our GasGas 450, and Brian Medeiros, he was on our Suzuki 450. Let's go to Josh and Dennis on the line to hear from them before their last moto. All right, tell the YouTubers what you're doing right now. Last moto of the day.
Last moto, number 20. The sun's gone down. Pro debut.
Pro debut.
See how it goes.
How happy are you that the sun's gone down?
I'm very happy. This is great. We were sitting in staging and I was waiting for that to go away. That's probably the most exciting part of this moto.
Red lenses, Scott goggles.
Yeah, you can't beat them. Red lenses are the way to go.
I like it. Sun just went down, so that really helps. Let's do this thing. All right, last moto of the day. How'd you do in this one before this?
I got a second for Moto 1, so I've been pretty much second all day, so the goal is to try to get a hole cut since I've been second or third every start.
I like it. Let's do it. Both of you guys, flat tire?
Flat tire, man. Flat tire.
Flat tire.
Lap one.
I got your crash on video. I got it all.
I knew something was wrong with Sean. When did you get yours? Third lap. I was like, I'm just going to kick it behind these three.
Hey,
and I was like, tell someone like.
All right,
so. Video, man. I got to take my hat out.
Yeah, so what? Good day, Sunday, Glen Helen, Mammoth Qualifier. This is your first Mammoth Qualifier?
First Mammoth Qualifier of the year, round one.
Round one.
Yeah.
450 Pro, Open Pro. I got the win, both classes.
You won them both?
I went 1-2, so I got second in both of the second motos, but I got the overall. So
well, you were smoking the first moto.
I appreciate it. I led every lap except for the last one in the last two motos too. So the Yamaha 450 is fast. But how many entries did we have today?
960.
960 entries. That's.
And the best thing about the whole day, we talked about what time we're going to get done. I said we're going to get done 5:05.
Yeah.
All day, we got done at 5:04.
Not bad. It's yeah, and there's a little bit of cloud, so that helped with the sun in the eyes too. So it wasn't bad.
And it helped keep the track together.
Yeah.
If you look at the second half, the track stayed a lot more moist. More fast sun, cloud, didn't come away. It helped.
All right, and then Cal Classic is coming back here to Glen Helen this year,
Yeah,
right?
back here first time since 2018.
All right, and then what's your next Mammoth Qualifier? What's next for you?
Well, next for me is area qualifier dual area at Marysville.
All right.
2 weeks.
2xpromotions.com.
2xpromotions.com.
All right. Good day. Thanks for the $720. Going to Thai food tonight.
Hey,
Good times.
you owe me dinner for that now.
I do. It was a good day. It was a fun time out at the Mammoth Qualifier. Josh Fout, he's a pro now, so if you see him, you got to say congratulations because he got actually protested for riding the B class. He's a vet rider, 30-plus rider. He's ridden A-class at World Vet and a couple off-road races, but this guy protested him for signing up in the 30B class. I thought the guys in the vet class didn't really care about that, but yeah, congrats to Josh. You're a pro rider now. Pretty impressive stuff. Also, thank you guys for tuning in to This Week in MXA, episode 112, presented by O'Neill Racing. Fun times racing this weekend. What a better way to test motorcycles than to go racing. So stay tuned for more action from the Oakland Supercross this weekend. Trevor Nelson will be our boots on the ground representing motocross action. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next video.